here to tell you a story. And like all good stories, my story begins once upon a time, long, long ago, when I was a student much like you. This is a story of me that began when I was 5 years old, caught between huge fear of my fiercely successful father and terrified of maths. It was one afternoon when he decided to teach me the table of 5, perhaps, on a Sunday afternoon. And he told me he will see me at 4 o'clock. In those days, you got the story of a movie on the radio, the Vivid Bharati, our only source of entertainment. Listening to the radio, I realized that by licking a diamond, one could commit suicide, because the story of that movie was like that. I sneaked into my parents' bedroom, lifted my mother's engagement ring, because I knew at the age of 5 that had a diamond on it, or many, and licked away to glory, hoping that I would be dead by the time my father expected me to show up with my math copy and math book in hand, ready to recite the table of 5. Well, this was to be the story of my life for the next few years. The standards kept going by. I really don't know how I passed. Half of my report card, in fact, it was a highly colorful report card that I would receive at the end of each term and at the end of the final exam. Half of it was in blue, and half of it was in red. Yes, you've got that. The reds were spectacular, all over the place, in physics, chemistry, and maths, sometimes even in geography. In these reds, the sheen of the blue was seldom to be seen. My outstanding performance in English and history left unsung and unforgotten by my teachers, by my parents, and by poor old me. So the struggle continued. I embraced the goals set for me by my family, my father in particular. I embraced the ideal me that my mother said I ought to be like. And in this embracing of what others said should be my success, should be the definition of my life, should be the way I lived my life, I forgot the most important relationship of life is with me and with me alone. A few days back, I was with a young audience, bright like you, on a business campus, a well-known business campus, and I asked them this question: which relationship do you think is the most important relationship of your life? And you will be surprised at the answers I got. My girlfriend said some. My boyfriend said another. The professors who give us marks said many. God said a pious few. Parents said a few who are truly Indian at heart. Many of them said our first boss to come. Those are the most important relationships of our life. Well, not really. The spotlight of life is always on you. We are the heroes of our own life. This is a script not written by anyone else, but only by us. I'm here to tell you, to share with you how to turn your life around. But you say, what is your qualification? What have you done to turn your life around? I went from being someone who struggled with stage fright in her first very stage appearance to being a public speaker, a global keynote speaker. I went from someone who hated mathematics with a passion, and my relationship with my maths teachers used to haunt me even in my dreams. I always felt they were like vampires chasing me in the middle of darkness to suck my blood. I don't know if many of you in this room feel like that, and I'm sure you do, but those are tales that we will share some other time. In this struggle lay much suffering. I struggled As my father's diktat said, become a civil servant. I struggled to be a civil servant. I studied extremely hard, and I tried. Do you remember the old adage, try and try till you don't succeed? Have you heard that? Yes? Well, so did I. But let me tell you, it doesn't always work. I tried, and I failed many times over. I went to one of India's top premier management institutes, and yet had to struggle with unemployment for many years, till the time that I turned around the most important relationship of life, the one with myself, and established credibility and repute as one of the top human resource voices in the country. So when I share this with you, please do understand that it is based on a real-life saga of much suffering and a lot of struggle. So what is the first thing that you must do to turn around your relationship with yourself? Research shows that we need to spend time with ourselves out alone. In the modern world, there is noise. Do you feel it? Do you hear it? How many times we hear noises around us? The noise of our parents telling us what we ought to be, the noise of our teachers asking us to study in a particular way and get particular kind of results. Even friends, don't you find their noises hucking at you, telling you what is it that you must do, what is it that you must be, and sometimes telling us that we are simply not good enough. So, the biggest distraction of modern life comes also from something that we like to call smartphones, smart devices. And I'm sure that many of you have them in your at home or in your bag. Smart devices make us very, very unsmart because of all the noise and the distraction they lay at our door. So, if you have to succeed, and if you have to enjoy the success of your own work, if you have to enjoy life, the first thing to do is to spend 20 minutes alone with yourself on a daily basis, without the music, without your friends, without technology, shutting out the world. Keep a pen handy, keep a notebook handy, note down your own thoughts and even your feelings as you begin this journey of turning around your relationship with yourself. But why should you do it? Why should you do this? And I go back to the research which says, and my life that resonates with this truth, that when you do this, you will succeed in having better emotional regulation of your own self. You will be able to regulate your own thoughts and emotions much better. You will have exponential creativity. You will have extraordinary productivity. And your relationships with others will improve. Do you think it is worth it? It is worth spending these 20 minutes? Yes? Yes, absolutely. It is worth spending these 20 minutes alone with yourself, shutting off all the noises, including the ones inside our own head. The second thing is to dream as big as you can. There is no limitation to dreaming as big as we want. Only our mind limits us. With the dream, build the deservability into your own life. I remember setting my alarm clock for 5 a.m. every morning, chasing my civil services dream. Many times it was even 3:30 or 4. Perhaps like me, you set your alarm clock for a very early time in the morning, chasing a goal, chasing a dream. And how many times, when the shrill beeping of the alarm clock went off, how many times did I just sneak my hand out from the bed cover and switch it off? The old-fashioned alarm clocks didn't come with a snooze button. Only the modern ones do, which are in our cell phones. And the alarm clock would be silenced. That silence was also the silence of my goals, of my own dreams. Again and again, repeatedly, switching that off. So whatever the dream was, it was getting fitter during my teen years. It was the civil services during my early 20s, and many more. I never had the discipline. I never had the understanding that I had to build the deservability of fulfilling my dreams, of living my dreams, of bringing my dreams alive in my own life. So the second part of turning around the relationship with ourselves is to build deservability. Today, I know that if I have to run the Delhi half marathon, if that is a target that I must set for myself, I know that I will step up and I will train as any athlete so that I build stamina, I build endurance, and I can run injury-free. When I wrote my last book, I knew that I had to have the determination and the dedication. I had to build the deservability of being a published author. So building deservability then, young ladies and gentlemen, is the second step. What is the third step, you ask? The third step is to stop the biggest thief of them all. The biggest thief of them all? Yes, the one thief that robs us of our happiness, the one thief that robs us of our focus on our goals. Do you know what this thief is? Any guesses? Well, this thief is the habit of comparing ourselves to other people. These comparisons are insidious. They come our way from other people. They come our way from parents. They come our way from teachers. They come our way from friends, from media, from all the ads we see. And we absorb them and make them a part of our own life, a part of our reality. Comparisons, no more. Suffer comparisons, no more, my friends. If you have to turn around this relationship with yourself and make it into the finest relationship of life, if you have to succeed and remain focused on your own goals, compare yourself no more. The last step to turning around the relationship with yourself is that to build gratitude in your daily life, to build gratitude in your heart for what you have, what you create, what you receive, and who you are. We spend time in always this futile criticism of our own self. We forget that our duty also lies in being kind to our own self, in being gentle with our own self, in extending a hand of friendship to ourselves. How can we build an important relationship of life without extending a hand of friendship to someone? How can we build an important relationship in life without understanding that person? Which is why the 20-minute timeout is important to understand your inner self. And beyond that, a note of appreciation, a note of kindness for self and for others. And deepest possible gratitude for what we have, for what we are, and what we will create in life. Without that, we may be very, very successful, but we will not be able to enjoy the success that we create for ourselves. So, I have been able to turn my life around using these techniques, and I hope that there is a thought planted with you, amongst you today, that you will be able to use to turn around your life and build this most important relationship of your life. Thank you very much.